My first stop was to the Auburn Ave Theater, where I met with Jim Kleinbeck, the operations coordinator in charge of producing each show and performance, including ones by the Auburn Community Players.
Auburn Community Players started in 2010.
The Auburn Ave Theater itself has an interesting history. Before becoming the standard theater it is, it was a dinner theater, before that a movie theater, and before that it was a bus depot.
1926 up until 1943.
Oh, wow.
Housed a bus depot.
So it's a converted bus depot made into a movie theater, made into a community theater.
Correct.
Jim Kleinbeck has worked with the theater for a very long time, since before the city of Auburn owned it. He helped with the dinner theater both on and off stage for over 10 years.
And then in 2006, I found out that the city was going to lease the building, and I ran into the mayor at another group that I worked with and said, I want to be a part of that. And then he's like, okay.
Those many years of hard work paid off, spurring his longest career yet.
And the group of city employees that came over to check the space out had no idea about anything inside this building. And I knew where all the light switches were, where everything was located, breaker panel. So basically, I got the job because I knew how to turn the lights on.
You knew the theater better than anybody.
Exactly.
For him, it's not about getting a lot of money, but about loving what you make. His only concern financially is being able to pay the production team what they are worth.
The second show we did was Bye Bye Birdie. And we spent $200 more than we made. And I was crushed. Because I couldn't pay the director any more money. My boss, was, on the other hand, was like, Jim, she's like, it's huge success. She says, think about it. It cost us $200 to put that show on.
While he admits that profit for the theater is important, he does hold true to believing that the passion is superior.
You don't do it because you want to get rich. You do it because you love it.
It's a labor of love,
It's a labor of love. It really is.
Of course, this theater differs from some professional larger theaters. But Jim believes Auburn Community Players has its own unique appeal you can't get anywhere else.
We are not so much state-of-the-art. We are a little funky space. You know, we're a bus depot turned into a movie theater, turned into a live theater. I mean, what else? I mean,
what else can you do?
You know, and the creaks and the groans that it has, and people see it, and people can hear it, and it's just part of the character.
The charm.
Yeah, the charm. So.
Jim Kleinbeck sums up his values as a community theater leader best as it being a meeting ground for artists of every level to create together and learn.
To me, community theater is a place where anybody from any walk of life, any level of theatrical experience, being green, meaning no experience at all, to somebody who could be possibly a union actor. And we've had people from all walks of life do stuff here at one time or another. To me, that's what community theater is.
From there, I went to Tacoma to meet with Nick Olson, the leading director and producer of New Muses, a low-budget community in a teeny box of a space, not much bigger than a living room.
New Muses has been active for about 8 years.
Mr. Olson got his start in Morton, a tiny town between Mount Rainier and St. Helens, population around 1,000. Nick had interest in directing, but the actual kickstart was more unfortunate.
I lost my job.
Oh.
And, you know, the thing about that era is it's all tourism-based.
Yeah.
And so there was no work for the next 6 months. And so I kind of looked at it and said, well, what skills do I have? And I took the last $200 in my bank account and produced a show, and
Whoa!
have been, you know, building off of that since then.
Wow!
I think the benefit of New Muses for Tacoma is that Tacoma doesn't have a fringe theater scene.
A what?
A fringe theater,
Fringe
which is,
theater.
I mean, New Muses is a fringe theater company.
Fringe theaters are the type of
Can you
theater
define
between
fringe theater
theaters
for
that
me?
pay union rates, and the community theaters that don't pay and are solely for the purpose of enriching a community.
It ranges, you know,
Yeah.
it ranges between the two. But the primary difference I always look at is I say, you know, fringe theater is professional theater with no money.
Yeah.
He believes that a fringe theater is where you go to find the flexibility of community theater, but the commitment and talent of the professional world. While he agrees with the labor of love mentality, he has his own reservations about accepting a starving artist life.
Get it back. Like, no, you're not going to get rich
Yeah.
doing theater this way. Like, you know, but, you know, you can certainly be sustainable, which
Yeah.
I think should be the goal.
Yeah.
Is sustainability.
He believes community theater is the way for people with a love and thirst for theater to participate, but have the ability to have a life outside of it.
I think it does fulfill a purpose and a need. I think it, you know, community theater it's a place for hobbyists, for one, you know, and so there needs to be a space for people who don't have the time to commit to, you know,
Yeah.
9 to 5 rehearsals for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, you look at every super successful theater person in the world, 99.5% of them at some point in their life were doing community theater.
As well as for people seeking professional work to get some experience to fill their resume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, even as an audience member, you know, there
Yeah.
is, you know, for community theaters, there's, you know, I mean, they're getting expensive now. Well, I mean, and I'm
Even with this in mind, he understands the community need for theater mixed with the low budget of audience members.
adjusting our ticket prices this year
Yeah.
to try and make that, like, we're gonna have pay what you can tickets for every show.
Really?
Because there's the fact that, I mean, our tickets are $15. I can't always afford a $15 ticket. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's where I said, well, all right, let's try something. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of, you know, bigger theaters will do like full pay what you can performances, but I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but just having, I think it's 20 pay what you can tickets available for every production.
Yeah.
You know, for whoever. So, you know, and I look at them there for the people who go, I just can't afford that right now. Theater is about theater that is specifically to enrich a community.